welcome back to Miss Nell Speaks, and today we're going to do a famous chapter known as Subject Formula, or also Algebra Formula in PT3. So this is a very famous chapter after linear equations. So basically what we are learning in this chapter is to place any given unknowns as the subject that is required by the particular question. Okay, so let's see. For example, we have y equals to 2 minus 3x over x. And you want to make the x as the subject formula. So usually the question will write it like that, x in the square bracket. Alright, so you need to group all the x together first if you want to make the x as the subject formula. Therefore, you have to make sure you put all the x into one side, either the right side or the left side of the equation. And because this is a fraction, you can see here this is a fraction. Therefore, what we want to do next to simplify this fraction is to do a cross multiplication. Okay, and doing the cross multiplication will give you xy equals to 2 minus 3x. And then you need to put all your x into one side. So we're going to move the negative 3x over and group it together with the xy. So it becomes plus 3x. Okay. And then I'm going to factorize all x. So if you have seen my last video, algebraic formula factorization, so when you take out the x, you have y plus 3 in a bracket. And lastly, we want x as the subject formula, so I'm going to move the y plus 3 over, so you're going to have 2 divided by y plus 3. Okay, let's have another example. We have y equals to a square minus b square divided by 2c. And this time, I want to find the formula for subject a. Okay, so I want to make a as my subject formula. Again, this part that you see here is a fraction. So how do we actually simplify a fraction just like the previous example? I'm going to do cross multiplication, okay, to simplify the entire fraction. So I will have 2cy equals to a square minus b square. And if you have a habit of putting what you want on the left side of the equation, you can just rewrite them. Okay, so that you have what you want on the left side. So I'm just going to rewrite this entire equation to be like that. And now I can move my negative b square easily over to the other side of the equation, making it a positive b square. And lastly, because I only want a, so moving over the square to the other side will give you a square root. So that is your answer for having a as your subject formula. And the last example, we have this equation here, 2pq equals to 3p minus q squared over 2, and I want p as the subject formula. So p is scattered everywhere, so you can see p on both sides, on the left side and the right side. So I would like to group them together, and again you have the habit of putting what you want on the left side. So let's move the 3p over to the left side, having negative q squared over 2 on the right side. Okay, so you have this on the, don't forget the negative sign. And then using the factorization rule, I'm going to take out the p, and I'm going to have 2q minus 3. And lastly, moving my 2q minus 3 over to the other side, so that I only have p on my left side. Okay, so you don't want this, yeah? So it's going to become divide. So originally you already have a 2, so now you're going to add in the 2q minus 3 at the bottom. So that's the answer. Okay, so Hope you guys have already learned something. Make sure you try out some questions for yourself so that you know whether you have mastered this or not. And until then, take care. Bye bye.